Well. Mike, I messed it up the last one. This is 161.
See, I knew we were off on the numbers. We talked about this.
I don't know. It's not that hard, is it?
All right, I'm going to try to keep track going for it. So this is 161.
This is 161.
161. Next one will be 162, logically.
It's not that hard. I don't know how to get. I guess because I don't listen.
Yeah, the people really care, though.
I don't think
we're putting them out. There's a bunch out there if you haven't listened.
Yes.
Go back, listen to them all.
But yes, welcome back. Thanks for joining us. Joined by partner in crime, Michael Zabbo.
We're back.
What you got this? I feel as if I haven't seen you again. I haven't seen you since the last time we did this.
Yeah, we talked about not seeing each other because you were on your trip, and then we haven't had a lot of jobs together.
Yeah,
we haven't. No, I've had that group I always caddy for in September, the Southwestern Interiors group. So
staying busy.
Lots of fun with that group, man. We've done some things and seen some things. It's been pretty crazy. Yeah.
McCoppin been chasing turkeys again?
No, oddly enough, we haven't seen any out there. I'm like, dude, I think they've heard about you and they've kind of stayed away. Funny though, because you actually posted this on the Glorified Donkey Twitter, the X. You posted there's like a deer out there now that wants to be he wants to be loved on and petted and fed. Like the deer out here, there's tons of them, and like almost, well, up until now, every single one will let you get so close, but eventually they're gonna back away because it's a wild animal. They're not gonna let you touch it. But this deer actually like wants to be petted and will nuzzle you and follows groups around. It's pretty crazy, and there's been a lot of videos since the one you posted.
Yeah.
And Terry in the group, the deer came by the house, and Terry's out there with pictures with the deer petting it. And it's like, I don't know if I'd be petting that deer.
So a few years ago, someone told me that fawns, because baby deer are known as fawns,
correct.
They have no scent. So if one loses its mother, because they always stick next to the mother, as soon as you touch it, predators can then, they're on the radar.
Yeah, that's kind of across the board in the animal kingdom, yes.
And I felt, it's because we were at the wee course on the first tee, and all of a sudden this thing just starts coming through. And I thought, maybe it's ill. Some animals get ill, they get delirious, start walking all over the place. I thought that's what it was. And I guess it'd been happening all morning.
Yeah.
And they reckon that the fawn had lost its mother, hit by a car.
Yeah.
And
looking for somebody to take its place. If my wife and daughter went to the Walker Cup, because that was going on over at the Cypress Point Club just down the road, and they were getting on the shuttle, and the deer was there and was trying to get on the shuttle bus with them.
You're joking.
Swear.
Oh.
It's crazy.
Well, he made his way over to 14, so yeah. Do you think you'll ever call it X?
I don't think so. It's Twitter.
It's Twitter.
Sorry, Elon. It's Twitter.
I don't know why you would change the name in the first place.
Because he's Elon and he likes X with everything. I mean, look at his kids' names.
Yeah. Some people loved, actually, you mentioned the Walker Cup. I'm quite embarrassed at myself. We often, I think somebody had texted us and asked, are any of you, either of you going to Walker Cup?
Yeah, can I go walk?
And you said, the only way you'll see me over there is carrying a bag getting paid.
I refuse to walk around a golf course. I love watching golf on TV, and I watched a lot of it. I refuse. I told this because my wife and daughter went. They had a ticket. I wasn't working that morning. I could have gone with them, but I told her, I said, I am not walking around a golf course if I'm not getting paid. It's just not what I do.
So I had that attitude as well, but I'll hold my hand up, and I'll say I'm somewhat disappointed in myself and ashamed, because some people would give their left arm to go out and walk those grounds out there.
For sure.
And I've been out there before a couple of times, but Rye the Pet Guy had contacted me. Someone had given him a couple of tickets. They weren't cheap.
Oh, yeah.
And it was the Friday, so it was one of the practice days. But once it was done, the organisation was really good. You park, you get in a bus.
Yeah.
They do all the security before you get out there. And I probably met 20, 30 people I knew.
Of course.
And it was a blast. And he'd never been there
you
before.
had fun.
Oh, it was brilliant.
Yeah.
Now, we didn't go, really strange actually. The practice seemed quite small. And then they closed the course between like 1 and 5 or something, or 1 and 3, because they were going to, it said, getting prepped for the flag bearing.
Oh, because that Friday was the opening ceremonies, yeah.
So
Well, they had President Bush was there, so they were doing security and stuff, and
yeah, they flew
jet
past
fly
us.
over.
Yeah, they flew past us when they were leaving. But I was really, really happy I went. I told the wife, I says, I'm actually really happy. He was buzzing. Never seen.
Oh, he'd never been out there.
Never been out there, but it was like a fat kid in a sweetie shop.
Uh-huh.
Him in the merchandise.
For sure.
Type.
Oh, of course, yeah.
I tell you what, they know how to charge. Unbelievable, the cost of stuff.
We have a handful of Walker Cup pieces of merchandise ourselves.
I don't like the logo. I'll be honest. I really don't like. I don't like the Ryder Cup logo. There's too much going on.
Yeah, I don't see myself wearing that gear. I've never really worn Ryder Cup gear. I've certainly never worn Walker Cup gear. It's not my jam.
Yeah, funny thing happened. I bumped into a lad. I can't remember his name. He is a listener. He works with a guy called Maguire up in the Bay Area, commercial real estate. And I see him, and he walked towards me. He says, "Oh, how you doing?" And I was like, "Oh, you know the Book boys, the twins."
Yes.
Right.
It's his dad, or
no? Well, here's the story.
Okay.
Bump into this guy. I start talking to him, and I say, "Can you even tell the difference between yourself and your brother?"
Mm-hmm.
And he's looking at me straight like, "Huh?" And he goes, "I'm still listening to the podcast. Great, yeah." And then he mentions Maguire, and I was like, "Oh, this isn't one of the books. It's not one of the twins."
Oh, you thought it was.
So he goes off probably thinking, "What? He's no clue. What an idiot." I walk 20 yards, and I start telling Ryland the story about the Book boys, and I thought this is who it was. Guess who I'd bumped into?
Book.
The twins.
Yeah. There you go.
They're right there, and
That's hilarious.
I went, "Do you have a big brother?"
Yeah.
Because I think he just passed. If you go
That's
up there
hilarious.
40 yards, you'll see him.
Mm-hmm.
Really weird, but it was great. It was lovely. The course was tremendous. It's so beautiful out there. And obviously the result was so very one-sided.
Yeah. Oh, well, and in the end it was. I mean, they took the early, 4-ball lead or foursomes lead when they were playing alternate shot in the first round, and then the USA kind of ran away with it. But I want to bring it back for a minute, because it's funny you say that about, you made the mix-up and the mistake of hey, I thought you were one of the twins. That text message you were talking about where I said, I'm not walking a golf course if I'm not getting paid. So earlier in that thread, he was saying something about that. He's like, "Oh yeah, I got a Irish cousin that's out there." I thought we were talking to Chang, and I was like, I don't know what's funnier, me walking a golf course without getting paid, or you having an Irish cousin. I didn't realize it wasn't Chang.
That's right.
You were probably like, why did he say that about an Irish cousin? I thought it was Chang. I thought I was talking to an Asian.
Oh man. You know what? Sometimes the problem is when you know so many people, you're constantly.
You get them mixed up.
It's like people say, "Oh, remember the 6-iron I hit in 6?" No, I don't remember who you are, but they have one person to remember, and we have hundreds of people to remember.
Oh man! And so then you see that person, and they look at you like, "Hey, Mike," or "Hey, G," and you're like, "Yeah, you."
Well, I don't know how to say this without sounding like a total bell end, but when you do the podcast and you do meet so many people, it's hard for us to go to, well, certainly for me, to go to a golf course and not know somebody, right?
Yeah, we get recognized everywhere. We're famous.
Yeah, that big face of mine. But on Friday, I was at the Olympic Club in San Francisco where they just had the US Amateur.
Mm-hmm.
And the boy that's hosting it says, "You want to hit balls?" Nope, no interest. I'm not interested in warming up.
Why would you? You're a caddy. You don't need. Yeah,
it's super soupy. It's cold. I'm like, nah, we'll just go.
We'll
straight
hit
out
two
the
off the
course.
first.
Exactly. And this guy walks up and goes, "Big G," and I'm like, that's me. He goes, "Yeah, Will said it was you." I was like, "Who's Will?"
Yeah.
Because
you have never met them before.
I've never met them. So this
is
guy
pretty funny.
Introduces himself as George Ellard,
my boy George Ellard,
who Zabbo shouts out at least once every 4 episodes.
Well, he's a dedicated podcast listener. So is his son.
So
Will.
is his son.
Yeah,
So
dedicated podcast listener.
This was the Friday, and Will was getting a practice round in before the club championship the next day.
Mm-hmm.
So I had a wee chat with him, and then I took a selfie with George and I sent it to Zabbo.
Yeah,
and Zabbo replied, "Tito."
Yeah,
question mark. And then
it's funny. It's like one of those things we were just talking about, where you see the person, your brain doesn't register it. He does, George, I'm sorry. Yeah. I didn't recognize you right away, but as soon as you said George, I'm like, oh, of course, George Ellard. I'm like, and Will, like, But he kind of looks like he has the look of Terry Francona. Like he's a shorter version of Terry Francona.
Who's Terry Francona?
Oh, if you know Theo Epstein, you know Terry Francona. He was a manager of the Red Sox for years. But yeah,
okay,
but hilarious. That's so funny that you run into George and Will at Olympic, which I am going to take you up on that offer, George. He always offers, hey, come out to Olympic.
Well, it was 2 weeks since the US Amateur course. So pure, fantastic,
great venue.
I would love to go back and play again. So, and it will happen.
Well, which course did you play there? They got 36, don't they?
They've actually got 45.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
They've got 2 18s and a 9. I guess we played Lake.
Gotcha.
There's a lake in the ocean. So the lake is where they actually had the tournament 2 weeks ago.
Nice.
It is, they'd cut all the rough down. I can only imagine how hard it had been with the rough. Now, I didn't know exactly where I'm going. Taking driver when the caddie's like, don't hit driver. Of course I'm going to hit driver. I'm going to do everything that
I wanted to do.
People, I tell them they're stupid, and of course I do it.
Of course.
But that course punishes you if you are off at all.
I've heard that.
Done. Yeah. You are done. It's there was a par 3 in the back 9 down by the road next to the lake, and I hit this what I thought was a perfect shot to a par 3 8-iron. I think it gets caught up in one of those cypress trees.
Oh,
the tree wasn't even on my radar.
Jeez.
And so depth perception, etc. However, I did have one of those. Was it burger dogs?
Oh yeah, legendary up there.
There were 6 of us because there was 4 players, 2 caddies. I think there was 5 consumed. Next level.
I've never heard anybody have one of those and not like rave about them.
I just think where we work, I've completely and utterly missed an opportunity to have trademark food, like a snack, a drink, whatever it is. Everywhere I go, they have something. Oh, this is what you have. This is what we have here. This is the drink they have. This is the food.
Well, we do have that at the wheat course, the Hawkins grilled cheese. Have you never had the Hawkins?
No,
grilled cheese?
you do. That's it. But, you know, it's not as if it's like, oh,
it's not the legendary burger dog of Olympic, but
burger dog served in a hot dog bun.
Yes,
and I guess it's just a burger.
Is it shaped like a hot dog?
Kind of. It looks like it's a burger that's been halved and then stuck together.
Gotcha.
If you ever get up there,
next level.
Absolute next level. So, tell me what's been happening in the caddy world, because I haven't done much in the last week or so.
I've done a lot of. In that Southwestern Interior group, we have different groups in every week. So they always play late afternoon. So you try to catch, well, not you, but me. I try to catch an early one sometimes to go twice. But anyway, so one of the groups, great guys, the Bright family, who Bum Bright owned the Dallas Cowboys before they sold to Jerry Jones, but they have American Legends homes, so they always come out. Kevin Egan, I've had you go up to Egan.
Egan.
So anyways, they play a couple rounds at the wheat course, and the first round at the wheat course, I'm not in Egan's group. I've caddied for him a number of times, and we get along well. But anyways, he has like one of the worst rounds of his life. He shoots like 52 on the front 9. He's a decent player. Barely ends up breaking 100. He shoots he breaks 100, but doesn't break 90. Shots like 91, and he's all fuming. He gets so mad. So the next time, I'm like, Egan, let's just put us together, see what happens. You had that magical round. The one time he shot 48 on the front with me, and I shot 33 on the back 9. Like, we're going to do that again tomorrow. I said, let's make sure we get paired together. So Chris McCoppin makes that happen. He's like, you're going with Egan today. So we get down to one. He's like 85 yards out on one. Short par 5 to a front pin, an easy shot. Sculls it into the bunker. Ends up making an 8. And he's not like... It's funny, too, because this group, like, I was with the other group, and we were given, like, 4 or 5 footers and stuff. And, we were super slow, so the last 2 holes we paired up, and I'm doing it there, too. I'm giving them, like, 4 or 5 footers. Egan's like, what the hell is this about? They're making me put out 2 footers. And so, anyways, Egan makes an 8 on the first hole, writes it down. He holds everything out. He proceeds to play the next 17 holes in one over golf. So he shoots 76 after making an 8 on the front 9. It was unbelievable. And then, like, he's in a terrible mood the first time. Yeah. I've never seen a happier guy leave the golf course. It was unbelievable. It was a display of golf. The guy had a handful of birdies. He was making every 4, 5, 6 footer. Nobody gave him anything. Nobody would ever give Egan anything.
You wouldn't give him the time of day, to be honest.
But it was his last round of the trip, so he left super, super happy. It was really good.
That must be a career round.
He's had a handful of career, but certainly at that course, that was a career round for him. He played out of his mind. The next day, this is actually pretty comical. So we have a new group starting the next day. I'm going to segue right into another story.
Yeah.
Late loop. I wanna get an early loop, and Zabbos trying to make money, so I get an early loop. This is during the Walker Cup, so like before the Walker Cup starts, there's a handful of blocked doubles from the USGA. So it's USGA doubles, and I hear caddies grumbling, and I hear the manager, they're not. Some of them aren't going to show up, and caddies are still going to get paid. I'm like, this is right up Zabbo's alley. If they don't show up, you still get paid because they're paying the fee or whatnot. Yeah. And so then I hear, they run from 7:20 to 8:10, and Troy Bumgardner is on the McCoppin job with me in the afternoon. I'm like, Troy, I know you're not trying to go twice, but you got to get in here for the early loop because, you're going to show up and you're going to get paid and get to go home. I'm going at like 7:40. My group's is here. I got to work, but if you show up and you slip into your seniority, you'll get the 8:10 or 8:20. Manager said guaranteed. They're not going to show up. You're getting paid. He's like, I'm in. So he rushes in, gets to the golf course, and what do you know it? All of them show up. And not only that, but he ends up having to work with like the last guy. We talk about guys you don't want to work with. He worked with like the last guy in the world that he wanted to work with. It was, sorry about that, Troy. I called him in. He was like, this is perfect. I'll come in, get my money, go home, take a nap, and come back for the afternoon. Screwed you on that one, buddy. Sorry.
The older I'm getting, the more I'm realizing the Good Samaritan doesn't work.
It doesn't. You try to be a good dude and
try and help other guys out, and it just blows up in your face.
Blows up. It turned out okay for him though. He got paid. And
talking about guys that you don't want to work with, one of the guys I worked with, not in the last month, that I didn't want to work with, he absolute clanger. Right, he talks. I know it's rich coming from me, right?
Yeah,
but he talks too much in the course.
That's shocking.
Right,
coming from you, yes.
Right, so I talk a lot, but not to do with golf. Right,
true, very true.
So when someone hits a shot, and people always, get up, get
down, yes,
bounce,
go, bite.
I'd say nothing. Yeah. What's the point? Somebody once said, "What's the last thing they do to a golf ball when it leaves the factory?
Cut the ears off."
Cut the ears off. So this idea of talk. So he constantly talks to the ball, and
the caddy does.
Yeah, and then he's describing the shot with far too much detail, confusing the players. So we get to the 13th, and I'm over on the right-hand side, and his player is about the same distance as me. I've heard what the number he's given his player, and it's different from mine. It's a little bit like the wee guy on the par 3.
Yeah. They're wildly off, yeah.
And somebody also once said to me, if you ever want to miss, you miss short.
Almost always, yeah.
Because very rarely do golf courses take care of behind the green.
You're almost always better off short.
So at the big course, you're always short.
Oh, big course for sure.
So at 13, you know that if you're coming in from the right side of the fairway, you want to stay short. Short left's fine.
Mm-hmm.
So he's given a number that's about 12 yards more than I have. And then my player says, well, but I said, I don't care what he says. He talks too much. Yeah. I'm your caddy. So my guy watches the other player. This guy, the other player, the other caddy's player, hits a laser beam with a wee draw.
He hit the number the caddy said.
Yeah. And he's over the moon, and the caddy goes, oh, yeah, just at the back of the green. And I'm taller. And I'm like, I see this thing bounce off the back edge, which is downhill.
Down by the cart path.
And my player says, should I still hit? I says, mate, he's in the 14th tee.
Yeah.
And there's nothing worse, a bit like people always say, oh, you're so negative, right? So if we're on 14, if there's a chance the ball's going in the bunker, the older caddies will say, yeah, it's in the bunker.
Of course.
Oh, well, why are you being so negative? Well, I've never seen a golfer unhappy not being in a bunker when they thought they were in a bunker.
Yeah.
And there's nothing worse for a caddy when
you call it safe and it's in the bunker.
Get your lips off my ball, that kind of thing. Well, if you say good putt, well, great putt, and it lips out, golfers get so angry at that.
Some of them do, yeah.
It's got nothing to do with somebody saying that. It's your anger at the shot of missing it, and then you find someone to take out on. So, as a caddy, if you tell someone he's safe and he's not, he's only going to be pissed off.
100%.
So sure enough, this guy gets to they're looking at the back of the green, and I stay quiet because I can see it. He's literally 40 yards off.
Wow.
So he'd flown the green, and it hits the downhill, so he's now 45 yards back. And as you know, there's a tree there. There's no shot.
Oh, dead.
So I'll be honest with you, Schadenfreude, I took real pleasure in that scenario.
Yeah. Oh, you just watch it unfold. You get out the peanuts and popcorn, and you say,
it's brilliant.
Watch this show because he's going to be steaming when he gets over there.
Yeah, and listen, if I was working with you and that happened, I'd be like, listen, mate, that's called the middle of the club. You know, you start.
Yeah.
Listen.
Oh, for sure. Certain caddies,
And I wasn't going to jump in and
you don't want to save him. Yeah.
Save him from drowning.
Yes.
It was absolute goal. And then the last 5 holes, the guy couldn't go over it. Hit the best golf shot of his golf trip
For sure.
And
And the caddy called it good, back edge of the green.
And then what's my last thing I was going to tell you? I had a great look last Monday. My good friend Zach McGuire, who since moving back to America, probably 12 years ago, I've known him for so long, and I was actually in Colorado with him, and we actually went to the range and did a couple of things in his swing, changed his
little tweaks.
stance. He's setting up for a draw with a slice swing.
Oh, gotcha.
Not good.
Yeah.
Not good. So we at least were able to level things out. And he had the best round at the big course he's ever had.
Nice.
And he had 10 pars.
Nice.
And very, very gratifying when you have a long-term regular.
That plays one of their best rounds, yeah.
And you really, we do. We want everyone to play as well as they
For
can.
sure.
And maybe not Egan, but...
No, I was very happy for Egan because he was so mad. And, a lot of times you take it on the caddy. The caddy he had the day before he wasn't very happy with because he played terrible, so...
Must be the caddy's fault.
Have to be.
I've had a number of caddies in the last maybe month, 5 weeks, with all the places I've been playing.
Mm-hmm.
And it really, you can see, being a caddy, you can see the lazy ones.
Have you had a few bad ones?
Couple.
Yeah.
Now, they weren't, I wouldn't say they were bad, they weren't unpleasant. I'm reading my own putts, so I can't talk. But there was actually one last week where the guy I was playing with, who'd never played the course before, his caddy had only been working 6 weeks, and he says, "Oh yeah, you're uphill," and I put my hand up in the air,
whoa,
as if hold, and he said, "Oh, do you want to go?" And I went, "Yeah, I'll go." But what I wanted him to realize was, no, you're definitely downhill, mate.
Yeah,
and this thing, he ends up nearly putting it in a bunker. He goes, that wasn't uphill, and the guy goes, "No, I guess it's not." So I think I really get it now. If people find a caddy they like, they're going to stick with them.
Yeah, for sure.
Mike, we're going to have to move on.
All right.
Can't believe we're already halfway through.
That went by fast.
Yeah, I got plenty of really good mailbag questions, so after a very quick break, we'll move on to that.
Sounds good.
You had mentioned Twitter or X. If you
Twitter,
are not following us, get on there. Glorified Donkey. Look for that. I guess if you look for the Real Life Caddy podcast, you can find that. But somebody was actually asking who posts. And then Zabbo said, "Oh yeah, who do you think?" The majority is me. I'm like, okay.
I didn't say I post. I said I sent you a lot of the pictures.
Okay. We'll have to agree to disagree on that. Questions, mailbag, right? So if you have any mailbag questions, you can always send them in on the social medias platforms or by email, podcast@glorifieddonkey.com. First one comes from a Joe V. He's from Chicago.
Joe V from Chicago.
Which is in which state?
Illinois.
There you go. Afternoon, lads. Love the show. I saw from Big G's Instagram post that he attended the recent Walker Cup. Do you think the event is too one-sided?
Too one-sided in what way? I mean, that's kind of an open-ended question.
I know exactly what he's looking at. Now, the Walker Cup's been around since 1922.
Mm-hmm.
So, 40 times America's won it. There's been one draw, and GB in Ireland have won it 9 times.
Oh, do you know who the Walker Cup is named for?
Yeah, that was old Bush.
Is the grandfather? He was president of the USGA, George Herbert Walker.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
tells you how influential they are in the world of golf.
Mm-hmm.
But I then also had a look at the rankings. So the US, their top 6 players are ranked the top 6 amateurs in the world.
Mm-hmm.
They also had number 9, 13, 44, and then the worst or the lowest ranked is 143.
Yeah, I mean, interesting criteria to get in. And then you had Miles Russell, who just won the U.S. Amateur, right? So he got in. They said if he didn't win that, he wouldn't have got in. He's a high school senior. I mean, and he played really, really well.
GB in Ireland, their rankings, world rankings for the amateurs, their highest ranked player, 10th in the world. So you had 7 American players higher ranked in the world. Then it went 17, 27, 35, 42, 52, 63, 104, 149, and 465.
Pretty crazy.
So I look at that, and I know one of the American lads, he was the oldest, he was like 34 years old, it was his 5th Walker Cup, so he obviously decided to remain.
Stuart Hagestad, who was, I think, leading the mid-am after the first round.
Right. But what you have to look at is now I know a lot of the British and Irish boys play college golf in America.
Of course.
But
most of them.
I don't know what it is, whether it's weather, whether it's geography, whether it's access to facilities or a better tournament schedule system from high school. Like, for example, at my high school, like Scotland, I couldn't tell you one local high school that had a golf team.
Yeah.
I think when my older brother went, there might have been one, but it always comes down to the teacher because it's not a paid position. So I've caddied so many times for people and they go, oh, coach. Oh, he's the hockey coach at the high school. He's the football coach at the high school. Where I'm from, you would have a teacher that just volunteers that, oh, I'm a golfer. Here, I'll start a golf club within the school. Yep. So you're ultimately looking at having to join a club and then use that system. The weather's shite. It's 6 months a year, maybe 7 months a year. Over here, it just seems like there's tournaments everywhere.
Everywhere. The access to tournaments is unlimited. I mean, with
so
AJGA stuff and junior golf, I mean, it's everywhere.
Do you think the event is too one-sided? Yes, I would have to say. And I don't see GB in Ireland ever competing against the US. It's the pool of players is too big. It's massive.
Tough to disagree with that.
And I just wonder if I doubt they'll ever go to, Europe, like they have with I think that's why they did it with the Ryder Cup.
I think you're right, but I think a lot of it's tradition, right? They want that tournament to stay GB&I, which maybe it shouldn't. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
Open it up to the entirety of Europe. Make it more competitive.
Good question. Over the last few years, Scottie Scheffler has blown the competition away. Is Prime Scottie as good as Prime Tiger? And how many majors and PGA Tour events do you think he will win? That's from Brendan Jones in Auckland, and that is in
New Zealand.
Well done.
Wow.
Well done.
Pulled that one out.
So again, I did a little research here. Tiger Woods won 82 PGA Tour events and 15 majors. Scheffler has now won 19 and 4 majors. So I'm guessing 4 of those 19 were majors and 15 of Tiger's 82 were majors. So he's basically a quarter.
I would say this is a very good question because it comes up a lot. And if you look at some of the stats out there, he would have to remain number 1 in the world till like 2032 or something crazy to even to tie Tiger. Like, it's some of the records I think are untouchable, but it's tough to say right now because right now he's playing as good. I think he's playing as good as Tiger was in his prime. He just won again yesterday. I mean, it wasn't even close, really. I mean, he was 2 shots back going into the last round. And when I went to bed on Saturday night, I was like, well, that's a foregone conclusion. He's 2 shots back. Scottie's going to run away with it, and he did. I mean, he's just right now, he is so good. And honestly, the competition is way better than he's beating all the guys that grew up playing golf because Tiger Woods played golf, and they played and practiced every day in their childhood until they made it to the PGA Tour. these other guys he's playing against are better than anybody Tiger was playing against.
Yeah. Well,
And he's beating them all.
Neil and myself did the research years ago on Tiger Woods versus Jack Nicklaus.
Mm-hmm.
And it's maybe the numbers are not 100%, but I think Tiger came in the top 3. He won 15, but he came in the top 3 something like 27 or 30 times.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not even that much. He played against 7 multiple major winners over his career. Think about that. Multiple.
Tiger?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jack Nicklaus was 22 multiple major winners he played against over his career,
Mm-hmm.
longer career. And he finished in the top 3, I think, over 50 times. Tiger certainly, compared to Scottie Scheffler, he's probably 5 years ahead of when he broke on the scene.
Tiger had those like just absolutely dominating years where he dominated, and Scottie is starting to do that. So who knows? The next two years are going to be telling in his career, and what does it? But the difference between Scottie and Tiger, I think, is Scottie really doesn't care. He really doesn't. He doesn't care at all.
Cha-ching. Now, I think that Portrush showed like what he's all about.
Yeah,
absolutely mind blowing. So I don't know. Yeah, I think he is as good. I would agree with most of what Zabbo just said there. Can't complain. I think it's he's right up there. You boys work on the Monterey Peninsula. What is your favourite time of year to work out there? Big Al from Florida.
Well,
to work out there, I'm guessing that's to work as opposed to work out.
Yeah.
What's your favourite time of year?
Well, we're in it right now. September, October more so than any other month. Although I'm not really opposed to some January, February because a lot of players quit. Gets out there poor. But honestly, I mean, the best time of year out here is September, October. It's prime. October, I mean, every day is almost sunny and pleasant. And yeah.
I would say all the way to middle of November. We get that low winter sun that sometimes it's warmer in November than it is.
True.
Certainly in the middle of summer.
Yeah.
June, July, but we're still pretty foggy right now.
No, it is today. I mean, we've had some nice days, but it definitely is today. Last week was like hot and humid kind of.
Yeah, it's been humid. It really varies. You can get great weather January, February. March is a good month. I'm not a big fan of the wind, I'll be honest. I when it gets really windy, I don't mind 2 clubs. We get a lot of 4-club winds.
Those can be brutal days. It's tough to caddy in those days because then the putts on the green are blowing around. It's not that fun.
Yeah, I remember doing a tournament in March about 3 years ago. I was the only player carrying bags in the whole tournament, right?
That's a lonely place to be. I've been there before.
The guy I'm carrying for is an absolute purist.
Yeah.
But it was so windy. The bags were blown off my shoulders. It was an absolute nightmare. I was exhausted. But yeah, you'll tend to find they call it an Indian summer. So that would be it.
Good question, Al.
Andy Fulton, and he's from a place called Franklin.
Wow, there's many Franklins.
I'm probably 100.
I'm going to go with. I'm going to go back to our great state of Illinois.
No, I'm going to say Tennessee.
Ah.
So I play twice a week, and for the last 7 years, I take my dog Charlie to the course with me. He is always on the leash, and I push a trolley. Some players love to see Charlie. I'm sure they do. But recently, there has been a motion at the club to stop members bringing their dogs.
All because of Charlie?
It says members.
Yeah.
What is your opinion on dogs at the course?
There's not enough of them. Bring them out. I mean, as long as they're reasonable and well behaved, and I don't even think they need to be on the leash if they're chill dogs and not running and grabbing golf balls and running off with them. I mean,
I think depending on the size of the dog, like I used to love taking my wee dog, but I would let him off the lead, but I would drive off in the car and he was maybe 300 yards away and he'd just sit there. I don't know why. And that's when I realised he's maybe not the sharpest.
Yeah. He's pretty sharp right now.
But he is super sharp. But then somebody says, I wouldn't do that. There's coyotes out here. So you think about mountain lions and foxes. And so if you have a wee dog and you let it off the lead, there's a lot of, that's lunchtime for many dogs. Or even like a huge hawk. We see some of these birds.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't have a problem with it, but I can kind of understand. I had that big issue up at Poppy Hills, remember, a few years ago, where I took a wee man and I got into it with the head pro. And I guess I can see it. You don't want huge Alsatians, you know?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't mind it at all, as long as the dog's not, like, jumping on people. And yeah.
That's it. Well, there's no real bad dogs. It's always bad owners, isn't it?
True.
So, yeah. But, yeah, the wee man, he used to be insane. Like, he would run the whole course, and he was faster than the cart. That's how fast the wee man was.
You've grown up a lot, Bear. Barry, you awake down there? Bear? Hey, buddy.
Next question and final question is from a Paulie in New York.
Paulie?
Hey, Paulie.
We love Paulie.
Shaka. He says, recently my golfing buddies started mocking me because I refused to use any other tee than my long wooden orange tees. I guess I'm superstitious. Do you have any superstitions or rituals before or during a round?
I can't say that I do. I've seen a few, but personally, no. I put my clubs on the cart, grab a tee, grab a ball, and hit it.
Well, you don't walk?
Come on. This goes back to the whole thing about, if I'm not getting paid, I'm not walking golf course unless I have to, unless it's a really prestigious course, I'll walk.
Yeah, I've played a fair bit of golf in the last month, but I don't think I guess the only... superstitions. No, I don't. I'm not that kind of a superstitious person, but I would say that we should be having structure, practice with purpose, go to the range. I really do. When I was out in Colorado, one of the days I shot a 77, first time ever seen the course.
Mm-hmm.
And the next day I went, you know what, Ed, I'm going to go to the range. I'm going to hit some balls. I'm going to hit some putts.
85.
Tripled the first hole. Now, I ended up, I got it back, a bit like Egan. I was able to get it back. But I think there's a lot of superstitious people out there, the colour of balls.
Yeah.
I would, you know what, I always like to mark them with three dots to the bottom right of the number.
Yeah. If I'm ambitious, I'll mark them too. I did see a guy last week with the, you don't see this too often anymore, with the brush tee. He was using the brush tee.
Oh,
and he just loved it.
Yeah.
He loved it. He's like, oh yeah, I got like 6 of them because, you never know when they're going to stop making them and you won't be able to get them anymore. I'm like, oh boy.
Well, it's the ones with that will be, where's John? Oh, he's still back at the tee looking for his tee.
Yeah.
They can't leave the tee box until they find their special one.
Special tee.
Who was a caddying for, I don't know, maybe a week ago, 10 days ago. He likes the pink ones, these pink tees.
Yeah.
The small point at the bottom. It's like what the women use.
Yeah.
They're lady tees.
Uh-huh.
But he said that's perfect for his driver.
He knows exactly how high I'm going to tee it up.
I don't have any superstitions, but do you know any of any golfers? You remember putting the left shoe on first, right shoe?
No, I'm sure it's out there though. People are quirky, man. People have a lot of quirks.
Yeah, when Tim O'Neill's in town for our next episode, we'll ask him.
Yeah.
That'll be a good question to ask him.
That is a good question,
Any superstition out in the track. And I just think that one thing I realised was recently I remember 3 birdies in a row. And the mental side of the game was, I can't keep this going.
Yeah.
And I think that's the difference between professionals and amateurs is that mindset of...
They forget about the birdie they just made. They forget about the triple they just made.
Keep going. And sometimes you're so focused on, score or whatever. I don't know. But that great question there.
Great question.
And if you have any, send them in, social media or podcast@glorifieddonkey.com. Now, one piece of fan mail. It's a lot of this is about the Walker Cup. Are you fellas going out to Cypress Point this weekend for the Walker Cup? Well, that was obviously a couple of weeks ago we sent that. What are your experiences either playing or caddying at Cypress? I imagine you two could do a full episode on Cypress Point. Keep up the entertaining podcast. Jim Bean Jensen's Knoll, Kentucky. Okay. So remember that fan mail is the one where you can't see who it is. So
yeah, I mean, I do have one story from playing out there, and I played out there once, and it was, I don't know, it was like 14 years ago, back when I used to play golf, and so I don't know if we ever talked, we have the Caddy Cup out here, which is actually one of the greatest golf tournaments in the world. They take 4 caddies from each course, being, Spyglass, Spanish Bay, Cypress, and Pebble Beach, and then you play all 4 days in a row. And 1 year I qualified. I qualified gross back when I used to be able to hit the golf ball. And so we actually, Spyglass ended up winning that year. Thank you very much. But at Cypress, I was playing decent. I was 2 over going into 16, and I'm thinking about score. I'm like, all right, I'm playing good for the team, thinking about score. And 16, I don't know if you guys watched the Walker Cup, but most people know it's a very long par 3. Like from that back tee, like 220, 230 sometimes. This day was like 235. Wind was howling, dead into the wind, so I had to hit driver and put it in the ocean, and I re-teed it, and I ended up making a 10. So I was 2 over. I go from 2 over to 9 over, and I don't break 80. It was crushing, but unbelievable golf course.
I think the course has 5 or 6 different feels to it. There's not one specific feel. And I always thought it was surprising. I know whoever owned the land, but when the course was built, I think if they'd kept on going down the coast, they'd play the first hole and then just follow the coast, and then come back up around, join up at 14. Yeah, that would have been, because Alistair McKenzie he designed it.
You wonder what homes were there. What there'd
have been nothing.
Yeah, I guess when the
there'd have been absolutely nothing there in the 1920s. And a Scottish links course is 9 holes away from the clubhouse, 9 holes back.
Yeah,
Irish links is 2 circles. I always thought that was surprising. I find it hard to believe that number 16 was a par 3 back in the day.
Yeah, so long.
I can't see many people having that in the bag in 1926 or whatever.
True.
So I think the best hole is 15, the wee par 3.
It's so fun. It's so fun.
There's these fences that go around it that are kind of made from branches or something. You know what I mean? It's the old rustic look. It's cool. There's a lot of these courses in California, especially, where they were built in the 1920s type thing. And like Olympic Club, for example, their clubhouse is so classic.
Yeah.
Kind of English back in the day. I don't know. It's really cool places. So, but no, we're still not caddying over there yet. I think they have enough guys.
I think they do.
I don't think they need 2 old timers like us.
Yeah, true. But I'm still hopeful one day.
Buy some beers. If you can go to the website, glorifieddonkey.com, you can follow the link there, or go via the Twitter page. We had a couple. Maximum Bob for Real, that was the username, and it says, thanks for some regular colour on the most special place on earth. I will be in Carmel next Friday to Saturday, and can buy another round in person at Mulligan's. You ever been to Mulligan's?
I have not, no. Back in my Uber days, I picked up a lot of people there. Man, they have a good time at Mulligan's, let me tell you.
And then we have a Dale Sweeney. A few beers from sunny Aberdeen. That's Aberdeen, Scotland. Hopefully help take the edge off for Big G after that whipping in the Sunday singles at Cypress Point. A lot of Cypress Point Walker Cup chat. We will be back for Bethpage in a fortnight.
Nice.
Okay, so that'll be the Ryder Cup. Dale, he had sent me a message on Instagram, actually. His father-in-law is in charge of the RNA.
Oh, wow.
And he's been listening for several years.
Oh, awesome. So thanks for listening, Dale.
I'll definitely hit you up the next time I'm in Aberdeen, Dale.
So will I, Dale.
I used to play up there. I lived up there and played up there. So I think he said he plays at Royal Aberdeen, which butts up to the place I used to play, which was a course called Murcar.
Nice.
Murcar. If you're ever in the northeast of Scotland, try that place, because I'll tell you, there's 3 blind shots in the course, which I hate blind shots, which I think you know.
That's not too many for Scotland.
Well, no, I think it, yeah, I don't know. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. But I'll tell you, I don't like blind shots. I think, right, okay.
Point taken.
And because it takes, in my opinion, it takes the skill factor out of the golf. But apart from those 3 shots, and not everyone dislikes those, some people don't care, but 15 of those holes, absolutely incredible. You have to hit every bag and every shot, and you have to hit every club in the bag.
Yeah.
How about that? And it's like little rabbit warrens going through the dunes. Phenomenal. Absolutely fantastic.
Awesome.
So, got to move on to shout-outs. Zabbo, you want me to go first?
Yeah, go ahead.
Got a J Black from the club, and worked through to episode 100, binging and long drives.
Ooh.
And he agrees with Mike on Chipotle. He eats it once to twice a week on the road.
You're a smart man.
There you go. Thank you for your support, Jay. Greg McAvoy, he was the guy that hosted us at Olympic Club last week. Absolute top lad.
Nice.
And obviously George and Will Ellard.
Damn, you took my shout out. That's who I was going to shout out. George, Will, love you guys.
And then Fish from Colorado, who is a long-time listener. He was texting with Zabbo and I. His wife just had a baby boy, so congratulations on that.
And I know you're not Chang now.
You should have Chang's number.
I do have Chang's number. And actually, funny you say that, because right after that, I was like, I don't know why I don't have Chang's name saved, and I saved Chang's name. So sorry, Chang.
And my final one is to a Matt Kennedy, who is a big Chelsea fan, and he caddies at Cal Club at Olympic Club, and he was an absolute joy to spend a few hours with last week.
Awesome.
So that's it. Shout outs.
Oh, no, I got shout outs. I got to shout out Kevin Egan, obviously. I got to shout out Justin Bright and the Bright family. I got to shout out Paul Miller, Bo. I got to shout out all those guys. Had a lot of fun.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that brings to an end episode 161. If you're new, get back, listen to the old catalogue. Mike, have a great week. We'll be back in 2 weeks' time with Tim O'Neill.
Gonna be fun.
Champions Tour player. Mm-hmm. Any questions, get them in for Tim. And many thanks for your continued support. But until the next time, enjoy your golf. But more importantly,
keep it humble.